score more goals.
And on your selection, was it about
Confidence, being in and out, and sometimes Pep.
Live for you then. Arsenal are there already. Who? Jamie Carragher and Rob Hawthorne.
Leeds slip away at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, back from a loan at Middlesbrough, if the situation demands.
He's the only one who you think may actually feature a lot. And Andy Gordon at the other end, I like him in the centre forward.
They are to gaining more silverware tonight without the need for a penalty shootout. They'd have to score as many goals here this evening as they have done in their last 10 visits. This is Newcastle. Already Harris asked for his team to impose themselves.
I feel that's how Newcastle have to go about it. As I said, because it's not one goal they're trying to make up, it's two.
Involved in the setup for that late goal in the first leg that might just have been the killer blow for Newcastle. Gonzalez looking for an angle through. Foden likewise. Tonali emerging.
The setup of Newcastle. Three central defenders as well for Newcastle.
Here's Gonzalez looking for the man on the other side. Matheus Nunes just couldn't bring it under control, and Gasanov will slip back to Hall. Into trouble against Antoine Semenyo. James Trafford, who rejected a move to Newcastle to return to his former club Manchester City. Forward. Ramsdale selected ahead of Nick Pope, who played in the first leg, but
Shaw was excellent for Newcastle up against Mo Salah.
Well, now is it going to open up for City? Burn gets in with a challenge, but it's a challenge that does him no favours because it deflects back in off Omar Marmoush, and Manchester City have already taken a 3-goal lead in the tie.
Yeah, there's an element of luck, and Dan Burns heavily involved. I think it might be him who's playing Marmoush on. He finds himself 4 or 5 yards behind the rest of the defence, and he's delighted with that start.
For Newcastle, and Dan Burn, who was a scorer for them in that glorious Voltemada, slides it through. Can Gordon lift the mood? There's an opening here for Willock, but
so well, but he just thought it was there on his right foot, Willock, just to flick it over the goal.
He's only conceded 1 goal in 4 League Cup ties this season as James Trafford. So he's beyond Marmoush this time. Here's Voltemada. Foden. Burn steps in. There's a swipe at it, but side. And here he is again. Aït-Nouri. Reinders on the turn! And
what he's looking for, because it certainly scared the goalkeeper as it came across.
Tonali.
There it is in the centre of the pitch. I think the key for both teams is whether they can use the full-backs or the wing-backs. Or
Gordon finding Joe Willock.
I mean, that sums up Voltemada there. They had 2 opportunities there to put him in behind.
Voltemada is calling for it now to be played into his feet, but Newcastle had to go back to try and get forward again. A goal to further complicate Newcastle's task tonight.
The 2 outside centre-backs for Newcastle, leaving Botman free in the centre. When he gets the ball, he just follows through. I'm not sure what he can do. He just
pulled out. He wasn't very happy about that either. O'Reilly got up, but Ake has to deal with it. There's Hall, Ramsey. Here's Semenyo. Now Nunes. Aït-Nouri. Nouri has made excellent progress here. It's a great run from the fullback. It's the deflection.
Fortunate deflection, and Aït-Nouri's running at your back. 2 really.
Reinders delivers with a corner. Ake gets a touch on it. Inevitable prize of handball. Gonzalez. Now Aït-Nouri. And Foden, one of his own teammates was in the way then.
You can't believe it's not two. Initially, to poor Sheikh.
Marmoush, Semenyo from the angle drives a very inviting ball across. On by Gordon. I just wanted to play forward and it's been delivered for him. Here's Marmoush.
Don't try and press them high, and when you're coming up against quality teams as Manchester City are and Arsenal were last night.
Foden's corner. Over Hall. And Semenyo, with the greater risk for the Newcastle boss, is conceding again. Change that allows him to play for two clubs in the competition. Here's Anthony Gordon.
Really good from Dan Burn. At the last minute he pulls wide for the goal kick.
So far, Ake gets his head to it. Willock. That's the situation Newcastle find themselves in here, and trying to seize some kind of a...
Manchester City play through them and get at them with a 2v2, 3v3 on the back line.
House team in this particular campaign. Hall. Forced back by... Gordon.
I think with all the options on the bench.
Marmoush. Foden. O'Reilly. Good pressure here, and there was a pullback.
He got away from a few times, just kept going and going. He was relentless in that, Lewis Shaw. That's what Newcastle have got to try and do. Can they press Manchester City in their own half?
Trippier does at least work. James. The break from Reinders. Semenyo pulls it across, and Marmoush is there again and scores again. Well, there's been some good fortune about both of his goals, but the record will show it's a double for Omar Marmoush, and Manchester City are well on their way to a Wembley final in this competition now.
I said the name of the game is, can Newcastle win it high, or can Manchester City play through it? You don't want this to become like almost like an embarrassment to lose the tie, sort of 6-7. He's gone all the way with Reinders again in there, and Reinders just ran past him.
Here's Semenyo. There's a touch on that, but it's followed in by Reinders. And it's getting awkward, really awkward for Newcastle now, because Manchester City are picking them apart at will.
Yeah, it's got to stop. And listen, I said it was difficult for Eddie Howe to change the message from the side of the pitch, but when you see Botman going in there, how often have we seen Reinders running at that defence? Yeah, you've got to stop going in there, Sven. That was the plan before the game. That plan's well out the window now. Eddie Howe's on the side of the pitch now. He's pulling Walter Marder over. The plan has to change now. Don't wait for half.